Welcome to another episode of Kingsville TV, and today we got a special guest in the building, Miss Michelle. What's up, Michelle?
Hi. How you guys doing? Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to Kingsville TV.
Thank you.
So, can you please tell us a bit about yourself? Who is Michelle?
Well, okay. Michelle comes all the way from Nkolomani. Yes. I'm an artist manager. I'm an event organizer, PR consultant, and yeah, as Asaph would put it, I'm the squad organizer. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, and basically, I think we know you from the hip hop circles. So, can you please tell us a bit, how did you fall in love with hip hop? Because most of the times we would assume women are more into the girly R&B stuff, right? So, yeah, man, tell us, how did you get into hip hop?
Well, first of all, because I was forever surrounded with niggas. Oh my god. So I got introduced into the world of hip hop by my brother, and yeah, man, I was in SA by then, and I had the opportunity actually to see where SA hip hop was. It was really on the come up because it was around 2010, 2011 when the AKAs and the Casper were really starting to make a mark in the industry. So that's when I had that opportunity because my brother and his friends had a label called Black Theft. So they were customizing sneakers, so they would get invited to this awesome events. So yeah, my brother would take me along. So little by little, I got really interested in everything that was happening there. So I was like, okay, so maybe there is a future, because I also have a background in the entertainment sector. Like I was a dancer, like I was a choreographer as well. So and then I thought, okay, with the little experience that I have and the love that I was really having for hip hop, I mixed that together. I was like, okay, let me see what I can actually come up with and manage an event organizer. It just sounded very good to me, so I went with that.
And the current state of hip hop is predominantly, being dominated by let me say male figures. And I would like to know, what's your opinion on that? Where are the female rappers? Because I've been looking for female rappers and it seems they're non-existent at the moment. Are they there? Are they existing? And if they are, where are they?
Well, they are there. I usually call them unicorns, because you actually just bump into one just like that. But for the longest time, I think for female hip hop artists, because like you say, predominantly it's male dominated, and when they're coming up, they have guys surrounding them also that are trying to help them in a sense, and somehow they take the spotlight from them. So every time I think it's only one female hip hop MC that I've met, CMK, that didn't have any representation or any affiliation with a certain studio or whatever, because I think they just get lost in all of that. They really don't know much about the industry, and they try to let me just go ask a certain person and whatever, let me do this, let me do that, and then they just go under the line. Kind of reminds me, I remember this other time when Mosley, they were interviewing her after she left Cash Time Fam, and we were like, so what happened? She was like, you know what, I stopped being myself. I literally became this kind of queen, I was just there to compliment KO. So I think with most female rappers, what happens is they get this male role models that also take advantage of them, and they give them the runaround. They don't really necessarily help them with the ins and out of the industry. They just take what they can get, and then they let them be. So it's a very scary world for them. That's why mostly they love hip hop, but they are also afraid to come out of it, because they already know, man. Niggas is crazy, man. Forever trying to take advantage of someone.
It's a
Truth is not safe.
It's a dog eat dog world out here.
Exactly.
So like since you're a manager and artist manager, right?
Yeah.
How do you like spot the talent and say, you know what, I want to work with such and such or so and so? Like maybe there's a female artist or an aspiring artist watching this right now. How do they like, get your attention? What qualifications does an individual have, to be under your wing as a manager?
First of all, make all the right noises. make all the right noises. Like, I'm very fortunate enough, because of my circle, the kind of people that I have around me. They get. I'm also backed by a lot of studios, by the way. So sometimes I'll be even at the studio, and maybe by the time I get in, there's someone who's recording and whatever. But basically, like, to get my attention, you've gotta be talented. That's one thing. I don't even need for you to have an X factor, maybe pinky or dreadlocks or whatever happened. Nah, we'll discuss that later. But essentially, your talent, like, it has to like hit me some type of way, like when I walk in. And I've had music being sent to me, and yeah, if it's good, definitely, like, I hit you up. And if it's that I can't manage you on that level, I also do events, like I said earlier. I make sure, like, I don't just walk away from talent. Like, if I know you, I hook you up with the right people. And yeah, I try my best, man.
But then there's a stigma attached to female rappers. Like, you guys are overly sexualized, and you need to have that sex appeal. You don't just have to come with your talent only. You need to come as a total package. Big ass, sexy face,
Yeah.
all that stuff. So
Double D's.
is that a requirement for you, or it's purely on talent no matter how a female looks?
Basically, like, well, what I will say is, I think first of all, it's how you want to be perceived as. It comes from you as an individual. Like, if that's the route that you want to take, then yes, that's all in you. But I honestly feel like if you don't want to be perceived in a certain way, you won't be perceived in a certain way, because there are decisions and some steps that you have to take towards you avoiding those kind of instances. Because even for like me as a female manager in the hip hop circle, I thought before I started, I was like, oh my god, I don't even look anything like the Nicki Minaj's and them and whatever. So I have to have that X factor for guys to actually engage with me, to actually even want to work with me, And I remember I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be damn good at what I do. And when you become that much of a powerhouse on your own, nobody will force you to becoming any other person but yourself. So it has to really come from who you are as a person. You have to be strong. Like you said, it's a dog-eat-dog world out here. So you have to be strong. Don't fall into the norm, and don't try to fit in. Like, there's nothing like fitting in. Be yourself, stand out just the way God made you.
You're hearing it yourself from Miss Michelle. Be yourself. You only need talent. Don't let these hungry, thirsty niggas try to take advantage of you in the industry. Just bring your talent and your confidence.
Exactly.
So there's a topic which is trending right now on social media. People, mostly like musicians based in Bulawayo, are saying that, you know what, we're not getting any support from the city, and we feel as though, like, if we export our talent to maybe Harare or South Africa, out of Bulawayo,
yeah,
that's when maybe one can make it. What's your thoughts on that?
To a certain extent, I agree. Because when you also look at Bulawayo is very small, and the industry is actually smaller. So at the end of the day, like, trying to create that fan base that will also turn into money that you can actually monetize it, still very much a struggle. I really, really, really understand where they're coming from because there is still that, I don't know, lack of a better word, I would say miscommunication between the arts industry and the corporate side, So until that happens, we have that conversation where we have events that are powered by the city of Bulawayo, like the one that we almost had this May. So unfortunately, because of the COVID-19. So imagine if we had to have events like that happening 4 or 5 times a year, and look at their capacity, man, like their ability to book maybe more than 20 artists from the city. Those are the kind of that's the kind of boost that we need as artists here. But at the end of the day, like it's always good. Like expansion is always a good thing. It's growth as well. So if you go beyond Harare, if you go even beyond Africa at large, that's more money, that's more fan base for you. So growth, like is always a good thing.
But then some people say, you know what? You guys are making boring music. You're making low quality music. That's why maybe people are not gravitating or supporting your talent. What do you say about that?
First of all, no, no, no. There's no such thing. I think because we don't have. I would make SA for example because I was based that side for a while. I got to see a lot of things. They have so many channels that they feed people content with. Like you can imagine on channel O, there's AKA maybe it's top 10. You go to MTV base, it's AKA versus Casper Universe versus whatever. It's a triple threat. You go to channel O, you go to Trace, they premiering his new song. You see, like this is all round, like this one person that you are seeing on different platforms to start with. You see, there are those many channels, and when it comes to the who are you listening to? Like, well, no, who is you listening to? Because clearly it ain't the people that I work with. You know why I say that? Because this year we had Moneta Fela, which we dropped. Yes, their song, which we dropped. I think it was end of January. Yes, end of January actually. That song went on to get playlisted on YFM. Now that's one of the biggest youth stations in South Africa. So I remember like I was talking to DJ Sabi like on Instagram. Yes, I did. I was talking to DJ Sabi on Instagram and he was telling me, it's like, yeah, no, you know what, it's actually a very dope song. So if you guys have any more music, don't hesitate, just send us your stuff because you guys are fine. So I highly doubt that he would have said that if the quality wasn't good. It wasn't gonna get played. He has no loyalty whatsoever towards me to even playlist that track. So that track did that on its own.
So it's not about the lack of talent, it's mostly about the lack of corporates involving themselves in the arts industry.
Exactly. And I think personally as the arts industry, we haven't given them a reason to. Because I always tell people, I'm like, at the end of the day, you guys, what you need to understand is corporate. Corporate is numbers. And they work with numbers. It's not a pro bono charity item. Nah, like they need to know, like, okay, so if we are attaching ourselves, our name to your brand, like what are we gaining out of it? Like what are we getting out of it? So for the longest time, this is the one aspect that we as the arts industry haven't really managed to like put up like on our front. Like, okay, no guys. So if you were to work with us, this is the access that we're giving you, this is the fan base that you have access to, you have access to. We haven't really been doing any of that, but I'm so happy and glad. The upside of this whole COVID-19, it's really forced many artists to be very alive, to increase their online presence. So I'm so happy to see that they're going out of their way to engage as many people. That there's the likes of MG Sings, like he's really doing very well with the social media aspect, you know. So I was like, if we get more and more people, because you have to understand as well, like for you to make it, for you as an artist, there's also a certain element of influence that you carry. So as corporate comes through with their product, they need to know what, okay, if I say, guys, this phone is the one, you know, it's 1,000 people are going to really take it out. So I'm really happy with the fact that it's something that the industry is actually currently working on.
But I always say that there's a difference between followers and fans. And I feel like most of the artists have followers instead of real fans. That's why maybe when it comes to monetization, there's a problem, there's a disconnect.
And it also boils down to the what I told you about earlier. Like we haven't had that many channels to access people, and as well the economic situation, it also does play a part, because there is no money that's being invested into the artists themselves, you know, to actually better their craft, to actually, you know, be able to put tours together, you know. So if those things, those are elements that have to like sort of come together, you know, work together for the artists, so that they actually have fans instead of what followers. It's just just few missing elements that need to be put in place, and it's unfortunate that the load always falls on the artist. And I always tell people, I'm like, in as much as would love to blame the artist, but they can only also do so much. They need people like you know, like we need like 5, 10, Lord knows if not 100 of us on the ground pushing, making sure like the music is correct, like the brains, the way they come across to the whole public, you know, they coming across correct. So yeah.
And like, if I'm an artist, right, what services can I expect from you? Like, you know what, I need to blow up. I've got this talent. You know, I feel like I've got hot music, but you know, the only thing that's lacking right now is management and, you know, the guidance. What services do you offer to these artists?
First of all, I don't do miracles, so disclaimer, disclaimer. But like I said, we do, because music is only attributes like a quarter to making you a whole brain that actually will be attractive to the public. So what I do, I make sure that I turn you into a brand. Exactly. So also getting you into the right spaces with the right people, you know, making sure that your public image, that's where the PR comes into play as well. Your public image is very correct as well. Your music is where it needs to be, like the radio stations or TV, and also I also help you with networking, because I was telling the guys, like, I only open the door, you and your talent, make sure you stay in there. So yeah, I open doors.
So basically what you're saying is you are loaded, right? Like, you got too much money to spend on these artists. Because I feel like that takes a whole lot of money, or the budget, you know, to make an artist blow up like that.
It really does, but because I understand the situation that we're at, and at the end of the day, I also look at what it is that I'm also personally I'm trying to accomplish, and I'm trying to leave a legacy for my kids and my grandbabies. Yes, I'm deep like that. I'm trying to do that. So for me, I look at this phase where, okay, I'm not really getting the monetary value aspect of it, but the experience that I've gained from it, the doors that have been opened because of what I do, those are potential money doors. Like it's only a matter of time before everything pays off. So for me, it wasn't to begin with it because my brother was like, "Are you out of your mind? Like doing what you're saying you want to do? Shouldn't you stay in SA?" I was like, "Nah, but if I stayed in SA, I wouldn't be on Kingsville TV now, would I be? No."
Oh, thank you.
So I was like, nah, I wanted to, I needed like to mean more just me making money because this is talent that I'm working with. It's nurturing it from ground zero. So that's why I decided, I was like, you know what, let me just come here because I know it'll have a bigger impact, and me being resourceful beside is what's most needed. So I won't be coming to you anytime soon. No, well, not for a long time, but yeah.
And since you're talking about SA, what's the difference you have noticed between the SA market and the Zim market in terms of artists and the way they carry themselves?
Money. It's the biggest difference. Money. Because I always tell people, like, SA is so fertile. Man. Like, it's a blessing and a curse. It's very, like, SA is very fertile. You know, the struggle, that side, yeah, it might be hectic and whatever, but there is that, I don't know, force field around it. I don't know how to describe it. Compared to here, like, I hear you in hell, honey. Like, in hell. I tell you. So for me personally, like with SA, like I would tell you, money plays a huge role, and the fact that they have so many platforms that they can actually get access to, and even if they don't even get access to, they're actually able to create their own, and it actually takes off. You know, so unlike here, especially when you're like in the city, like here in Bulawayo, like your heart will be in the right place. You wanna make a remarkable difference in the industry, but sometimes the odds are just stacked against you. So by the time you get over one, there's like a whole new one coming at your way that you won't even notice. So yeah, for me, dollars, greens, guys. Woo.
And how are you generating revenue from, you know, your gigs right now or before? How are you generating money with the artists?
She makes sure she gets paid. She makes sure. Like because of the services that I offer, I have a package that comes with it, and it's a course, but it's usually very pointless for me because I don't know how to like with the packages, like, okay, for a certain amount this is the services that you get, and for this and this is what you get. But for me, I always struggle with that because I don't know how to pour half of myself into anything. Like I just go all the way. I just go all the way. But yeah, there is especially for if you don't need managing and such, and you have a project that you really want to push, that's where I have the PR packages that I come up with to best suit what you need to do.
And do you feel like hip hop right now is at a better place than before, and are we improving or are we declining at the moment?
I wanted you to ask me this question. Like, I needed you to ask me that. I cannot tell you how many times I was actually rehearsing, like, okay, if it tells me, wait, I don't want to forget anything. But yes, like, hip hop is not where it was when I first got big here, which was like, I think it was 2012 to 2013. And hip hop is in a gorgeous space right now, because I was looking at the charts, man. Like, we in there like all day, every day. We just making noise, man. We had Munatafela doing #1 for almost 7 weeks at a radio station in Harare, which was wild. And then we came back on Sky's Metro as well. With them, we were on number one. And then I saw just before us coming to number one, it was Terry Temple as well. Another kid to look out for. He's amazing. He was on number one. And then I checked the chart last week. We had Mrs. K was also like on number one. And then I saw Chris Swiss number one, top 40. Like that's one of the biggest charts in the nation, and that is hip hop. Like, in as much as people act like they're so keen to ignore it, you cannot, because if we're gonna look at a national chart and then your top 5 is hip hop, it's hip hop music. There's something in the water, man. The guys are working. I'm very happy.
Yeah. Shout out to hip hop right
Yes.
now. We're winning.
We never die.
Yes, with the likes of Miss Michelle helping us out, we definitely gonna make it. So what advice would you give to an up and coming artist, be it male or female, to try and make it, or just be in the industry? What doors should those artists go and knock on, or what type of people should you associate with for you to be in the space of ZimHipHop and beyond?
First of all, Kingsville. They're the OGs, guys. Like, I know they try to really downplay themselves, but believe you me, low key, every big artist that you guys have seen coming out of the city, Kingsville has somewhere be in there. So definitely Kingsville.
Shout out to Kingsville.
Definitely Kingsville. And then of course me, myself, and I, like, come on, I'm joking, but definitely. But I once did. I wrote this. I don't know if I was saying an article on Facebook this other time on my wall. Actually, it was around 12. And I was so, because I love helping people, I was so frustrated. I was like, you know what, there's something that people are not getting, and people are not even, and those people that know it are making people pay for it, but it's such basic knowledge, like, as an artist, that you should have. So for those that have time, you can actually go on my Facebook page, Michelle Banda. There's it's an article now, because I had bloggers calling me. They wanted to publish it, and it got published and stuff. But basically, like, what are the most thing that I want you to take away from this is that you're not crazy for wanting to do what you love doing. You're not crazy for wanting that to start with. And secondly, it will take everything. My God, it will take everything out of you. It'll take everything out of you. But if truly this is what you want to do, believe you me, you'll never die. Like, you'll never ever be out of breath or be out of love, because you always have, I don't know, that source where you draw from it. And research, guys. Research. Like, we have this wonderful, awesome invention called Google. I tell you guys, research, like, watch documentaries, arm yourself with the relevant knowledge, and not only even online, like, even on the streets as well. Like I told you, Kingsville has a shop even in town. Like, walk up in there, terrorize Orthodox. That's what he's there for. He hasn't said yes, but that's what he's there for, okay? So, arm yourself with knowledge, and basically, man, hang in there. Like, believe you me, the kind of achievements that you get from doing what you love and going after what you love, the word feels different. I don't know how to explain it, but it tastes better than a 9-to-5 check. That's what I'm gonna tell you. It tastes very different.
And we just like to congratulate Shasha on the win on the ladies' side. Yeah, for scooping that BET award.
Yes. Now they know what we're about. Like, congratulations to her, man. She did it, man.
Yeah, that's
For
what's
her,
up. That's what's up.
You know, for her to have a year that she had last year, you know, and then to top it all off with a BET, not only just a BET nomination, but a BET win. That's a double whammy, guys.
You see,
Like,
dreams do come true, guys. Dreams
it's
do
those
come
kind
true.
of people that just like, you know what, keep me going. Okay. Okay, so wow, there is like light at the end of the tunnel. So definitely major shout out to her. Like she really changed the game for us here, and now somewhere in America they know what is a Zimbabwe and they know what we're capable of. So
Yeah.
we're coming for everything and everybody. They're not even ready.
Yeah, man. So, where can they find Miss Michelle Banda on your socials?
Oh, it's very simple. Yeah, it's very simple. On Twitter and Instagram, it's a star Mishi. I think you understand what the star is for. So yeah, it's a star Mishi. And then on Facebook, it's Michelle Banda. And then on WhatsApp, it's 0. I'm lying. Like if you have my number, then you hit me up.
Thank you and much appreciated for gracing us with your presence on Kingsville TV and giving us the game, you know, the much needed game we needed. And yeah, till next time, man. Salute.
Thank you so much for having me and stay safe, guys.
Bye-bye.